Well, hello brothers and sisters, and good morning or good afternoon or good evening, depending on whenever you're watching the video. Welcome to Flashback Friday. This is episode 2, and the purpose of Flashback Friday, again, is to have more of a practical message and to keep it short. So let's put 5 minutes on the clock and go. Okay, so today I want to start off in the Old Testament and then move forward to the New Testament, if you don't mind. So let's start off in Psalms 8. So Psalm 8 was written by David, and all the Psalms are songs. And in Psalm 8, he is singing to God about how gracious God has been to man. And in 8:6, he says to God, "You have made him to have dominion over all the works of your hands. You have put all things under his feet." The word dominion in that sentence, we actually talked about a couple of weeks ago in the Word with Friends, and that is the Hebrew word mashal. And mashal means to press down, literally to stomp grapes. And so I've talked the last couple of weeks about that kind of authority, right, in the dichotomy of that kind of authority versus building up and edifying. This is David talking about order. Right, this is one of those cases where mashal isn't necessarily a bad thing, right? It's not the subjugation of all the things that God created. It's the submission. It's the subjection. It's suppression of the rebellion. And so what David is really saying is, God, you're so amazing. You gave us all of this to enjoy, but you also put us at the top of the food chain. Well, let's flash forward and see how that held up in the New Testament. So let's go to Hebrews 2 and 8. In Hebrews 2, the author, some people say it's Paul. I think that's probably not true, but if I had to guess, I would say it was a scribe of Peter's. But anyway, Hebrews 2 opens with the author talking about humanity in relation to God and humanity in relation to angels. And so when he rolls up to 2:6, he starts talking about a certain place in Scripture. What he's actually talking about is Psalm 8. For in that God put all in subjection to man, he left nothing that was not put under man. But we see around us that not all things are in subjection to man. And certainly we get that, right? I don't know that many of us feel that we have dominion over the world. If you watched Words with Friends this week, one of the things I talk about is that the amygdala kind of robs you of the ability to determine your own steering, right? It subverts what you would do and instead tells you, what the world would do. And this is what the writer of Hebrews is sort of lamenting here, is that, man, it sure doesn't seem like if I'm the head of the food chain, I have any control over anything. And don't we all feel that way? The interesting thing is there in 2:8 when he says, for in that God put all in subjection to man. The word in subjection is hypotasso. Hypo, which means under, and tasso means order or alignment. Hypotasso means to be in alignment and right order. And man, we just so don't feel at all like we're in the right order with God, or that the world is in the right order with us. And so why do I bring this up? What's the practical use of this? What could you possibly hope to get out of that today? 2 things. 1, be like David. He was exuberantly expressing to God his thanks that the world, which by the way was against him at the time that he wrote this psalm, was under our dominion. And what he's saying is that we are just so above the pettiness of the world. And don't lament, as the writer of Hebrews did, this idea that, hey, not everything goes according to my will. Well, of course not. That's not what it means. It means that we have a spiritual dominion over these things. And so as you go about the remainder of your week, I want to just really exhort you, be above it. Put all things in subjection to yourself. All right, so I think I made it just barely under 5 minutes. You guys have no idea how hard this is for me to do, but yay. I appreciate you watching. Thank you so much. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more like it, hit subscribe. And if you want to get push notifications, hit the bell. You'll get notified every time I post a new video. And if you didn't see last week's Flashback Friday, here's a clip. For a man's heart deviseth his way, but the Lord directeth his steps. That's beautiful. I'd put it on a license plate if there was enough room. And I will be back on Wednesday with a new Word with Friends, and I will be back next Friday with another Flashback Friday. So I hope you'll keep up with that and tune in. And I love you, and God bless you, and peace out.